Okay, Grey Zone Warfare, the newest extraction shooter that is coming out very soon. Hopefully, I think we're getting a release date sometime next week, but it has just announced its pricing model, and I just kind of wanted to quickly talk about it today because it's kind of been stirring on my mind a little bit. I wasn't actually planning to make a video this weekend. I was honestly just planning to play some Stellar Blade and just kind of chill out for a bit, but this has been kind of on my mind, and I just thought, you know, I kind of want to talk about it. So Grey Zone Warfare is of course the newest extraction shooter that is coming out, and they have just announced their pricing models, and this is kind of what I want to take a look at and talk about today. So we can see here that there are 4 editions of this game. There is the Standard Edition, the Tactical Edition, the Elite Edition, and the Supporter Edition. Now, for the base game of this, just to get access to it, that is going to cost you $35. Now that, from what I've seen of this game, I think is fair enough. It does look pretty decent and pretty well made, and I would happily pay that. However, if you want the next edition up for the Tactical Edition, that's going to set you back $60. Now, in this edition, like Tarkov, you get a higher stash size, which means that you can store more equipment outside of raids, and you get some extra in-game equipment as well to use in these raids. In other words, pay to win. And this continues on with the Elite Edition being $80, and then the highest edition so far, which is the Supporter Edition, being $100. Now, of course, with the Supporter Edition, you get the biggest stash size, you get a huge lockbox, which means that you can store items and you don't lose them if you die. That's much bigger than what you get with the $30 edition. And of course, you get a bunch of in-game equipment as well that you can use, as well as cosmetics and also in-game currency, because yeah, each of these editions also do offer extra in-game currency as well. Now, of course, there is a whole scandal going on with Escape from Tarkov at the moment with the Unheard edition, but I'm sure you guys have heard enough about that, ironically, already. So I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm not here to talk about, you know, Tarkov and all of its problems. I just want to talk about Grey Zone Warfare and in general kind of pay-to-win sort of systems, right? Because the system that they have in place here, the pricing model, I think is very, very predatory. And I say that quite a lot here on this channel, but I really think it is, because you essentially have to pay more to get the best experience of the game, because this isn't just cosmetics items, this is actual in-game items that will affect your actual gameplay. And trust me, I've played a lot of Escape from Tarkov. I do own the EOD edition, and I can tell you that that bigger stash size, it matters. It really, really matters. It makes a huge difference to the game. And of course, you get starting equipment as well, right? Which means that at the start of every single wipe, you're going to get completely different equipment than, you know, someone who has the Standard Edition. You're going to get better equipment from them, which gives you a much, much better start, a more of a head start, if you will. And of course, Grey Zone Warfare is also giving you more in-game currency as well when you start, which again gives you even more of a head start. Now, I'm not here to argue whether this is pay to win or not, right? Because I personally just believe it is. Like, it's as simple as that. This is pay to win. You're paying to get an advantage over other players. And I think this really, really needs to stop. Now, I was really, really excited for Grey Zone Warfare initially. I've been keeping an eye on it, and I thought it did look like a pretty fun game. However, after seeing this pricing model, my opinion has kind of shifted a little bit. I'm not actually that excited anymore, and I don't even know if I'm going to be buying the game. I just really, really hate pay to win. I really do. I think if your game is $35, that is fair enough. But I hate the idea that I can pay $35 for a game and then get a worse experience than someone who pays more than me, right? To pay $35 to get your base game, and then knowing that there are people out there who have a much better advantage over me in the game because they paid more money, that really, really rubs me the wrong way, because I'm not gonna lie, this game does not look like it's worth $100 to me. $30 sure, but $100? I don't think so. Now, of course, Tarkov was the first big game that done this, and as mentioned, I do own the EOD edition, so again, I am part of the problem there. And I bought into Tarkov years ago because I thought it was unique. I thought it had a cool idea. It was like the first game of its type. It was doing something cool. It looked like nothing we had seen before, and I was really on board. And I thought, you know what? This is a unique and interesting enough game that I'm willing to give them more money for, you know, the extra benefits. However, since then, you know, again, I bought Tarkov years ago. I have matured, I have aged, and I've kind of changed my opinion on that whole like thing and the whole pay to win system. It honestly just makes me sick and kind of makes me like rubs me the wrong way. You know, it makes the developers not look very great. I look at Grey Zone Warfare now, and whereas before I seen a pretty cool game that I was kind of excited for, I'm looking at it now and it's kind of just like, well, that looks kind of scummy. It looks kind of iffy, and especially with the new Tarkov controversy as well, I'm also wondering, you know, what happens if they pull something like that in the future for Grey Zone Warfare as well and make it even more pay to win. But as well as that, as mentioned, I just don't think Grey Zone Warfare does anything unique enough or interesting enough to be doing these kind of practices and charging these kinds of prices, right? There is no way on this planet I'm gonna pay $100 for Grey Zone Warfare. There just isn't. But I'm also probably not going to pay 30 because I don't want to give a company my money. I don't want to pay for a game, get the game, and then feel like I'm getting less of an experience than other players. I don't want to feel like there's stuff that I'm missing out on, or like I'm buying the light version of the game, when again, I am giving them $30 for this product. That is a lot of money. Now I get it, look, okay, companies have to make money and games certainly aren't cheap to develop. However, I just feel like there is a much better way to go about doing this than giving in-game benefits and making pay-to-win editions that if you pay for the cheaper edition, you feel like you're getting less of an experience than someone who paid for the more expensive one. For example, cosmetics, right? Cosmetics, I think, are a pretty safe way to generate more revenue for your game in a non-predatory manner to an extent, as long as you don't go too far with it. And I think Grey Zone Warfare could have done something like that. If they wanted to make more money from this game because maybe the game's development is just turning out to be more expensive than they thought, then that's fine. But why not just release the game at, say, something like $40, you know, to get a bit more out of the base editions, and then also release a supporter edition where you get extra cosmetics. So again, pretty much what they're already doing, just without all of the pay to win stuff. It will allow people who really like your game and really want to support you to be able to do that, and also allow the players that don't have that kind of money to spend on those sort of editions to still be able to get the full experience of the game, and nobody is getting a better experience than anybody else, you know? It's just cosmetics. Now granted, this is a thin line to walk because, you know, you don't want to go too far in one direction with the cosmetics and sell like actual like camouflage or something like that that is like actually gives you an in-game benefit, like a ghillie suit or like invisible tech or something like that. But just like some t-shirts and some outfits that again don't necessarily give an advantage, but just something that you can wear, kind of flexing rights, and again just a way to kind of support the developers, that to me would have been the way to go about it. That would have looked good, and I might have even considered doing that. I may have considered upgrading to that edition for those cosmetics just to support the developers if the game was good. But as it stands now, they're going down the pay to win route, which again just really rubs me the wrong way, and I genuinely don't think I'm going to be buying this game now because I don't want to pay for an edition and then feel like anyone's getting a better experience than me. That's just insanity. Now, I've seen on Twitter a lot that a lot of people are actually okay with this, and they're going, oh yeah, I'll pay $100, no problem, right? It's coming right your way, this game is amazing. If you like the game, fair enough. I kind of get like why you would want to support the developers, why you do that, and of course people are going to be in this comment section saying, well, Tarkov done it, so why can't Grey Zone Warfare? But the whole controversy with the new Tarkov edition, I think just goes to show why this is a really, really bad model, because it simply never stops. I mean, seriously, in the future, they can just decide to charge even more for new pay-to-win things, and if you don't pay for that, then fine, you're just going to get less of an experience, even though you already own the most current expensive edition. Well, now there's a new one, which is going to give you even more benefits. Okay, but that is pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. I kind of just wanted to get this out there a little bit, get my opinion out there, kind of express how I feel about it, offer a solution on how they could fix this issue if they ever decide to, and also to hear your opinions, because of course this is a discussion channel after all, so let me know what you think of all this down below. Do you think Grey Zone Warfare's pricing is okay? What do you think of the whole pay-to-win strategy? Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Jake, and I will see you next time.